Hello, NYWCites. I am longtime, what am I saying? I'm the administrator of the NYWC message board, Robert Lottie. Hotter Than Hell 2016 was a very good show from the NYWC Sportatorium, which didn't quite top Trust No One last month. And thankfully it wasn't too hot in the building, unlike last month. The show begins with Absolute Alvin one-on-one with Jay Red, and it went to a no contest when Alvin's personal security, Bishop, as well as Jay Red's guys, IRA and GIT, got involved. Next matchup, we saw Aiden Bale defeat Angelo Andrews in a very good match. Up next, Tyler Murphy comes out, and he talks about winning the Fusion title last month, and he mentions TJ Marconi and Anthony Gangone, who took possession of the belt after he won it, and they came in through the back door, and Tyler demanded to give the belt back, and Marconi says, no, how about you and Gangone go one-on-one right now for the belt? And Marconi was standing on the apron by the ramp. Out comes the Big O and takes the belt from TJ, and I guess he handed it to the referee at that point. And the match was on. Tyler Murphy defeated the Rogue Anthony Gangone to retain the Fusion title. He won the match and finally have possession of the belt. Next was tag team action as we saw Rad Brad and CJ Benson defeat Heavenly Bodies, Desirable Dustin and Gigolo Justin in a fun match. Then Devil's Outlaw, Stockade, Mouse, and Crusher Dugan come out, and Stockade's on the microphone saying that both JT Cason and Randy Summers want a shot at that championship. And Stockade decides that if JT or Randy could pin him or Mouse later in the show, they would get a shot at the belt next month. They didn't take too much time with that. And we were back to the action as we saw the Lariat DJ Hyde defeat someone whose name I did not get. I apologize for that. Next, we saw the Hounds of Hatred, Boo and Bam Sullivan, defeat Flawless and Lawless to retain the tag team championship. And at that point, after the match ended, Flawless and Lawless took their vests, hung them over the top rope, and left the ring without them. I don't know if that's trying to tell us anything, folks. Next, Bull James comes out for his match, and he takes the microphone and he mentions that Mouse cost him in the Fusion Gauntlet match last month, and he says, come on out here, Mouse, I'm not going to hurt you, you've got balls, kid. Mouse comes through the curtain, he's about to enter the ring, the Sullivans stop him and they tell him, hey, what are you doing, get to the back. And at that point, Bull's opponent, Man of Steel Mike Verna, comes to the ring, and Bull put away Verna with a pedigree. And then they went to intermission. After intermission, we saw the Elite Athlete Mike Orlando with Miss New York Teresa, don't know her last name. I apologize for that. And Orlando mentioned about his match with Tony Nese, the Premier Athlete, last month. And he said that Nese was in the WWE Cruiserweight Classic and that Nese was not in the building. So Orlando decided to throw down the Elite Athlete Challenge. Nese's music comes on, but out comes a student of the NYWC Academy, and Orlando basically went through this guy, making mincemeat out of him. After the match, Orlando and Teresa help him to his feet, but Teresa stiffs this poor bastard with a forearm, and Orlando hit him with a second TKO, which, of course, Orlando used to put away this young man. Next, it was Starlet Tag Team time, as Brittany Savage was the guest referee, which saw Sammy Pickles and Starlet champion Deonna Purrazzo defeat Brooke Danielle and the Derby doll Lane Rosario. After the match ended, Purrazzo's all alone in the ring, and the lights go out, and there's like a red light shining on the ring, and you hear Devil Doll, who was standing by Devil Doll on the microphone, talking about Deonna's demons and stuff, and challenged her to a Starlet title match right then and there. So the match gets underway, but Boo and Bam Sullivan are on opposite sides of the ring. First she hits Bam, then she hits Boo. Devil Doll rolls up Deonna for the 3 count to become the new Starlet champion. Next up, we see Talon defeat Ryan Donovan. Again, I apologize for that if I got his name wrong. Talon got the victory on that one. Up next, we saw tag team action as Chainsaw Joe Gacy, substituting for the Stallion Anthony team up with Jesse Vane to defeat King Mega and Apollyon. Then we were set to see Maxwell Jacob Feinstein in a singles match. He comes to the ring with Otto Von Knox and General Romero. Romero takes the microphone and eventually takes the microphone, and Maxwell's scheduled opponent is the Greek god Papa Don. And Romero offers Papa Don to join them. And Papa Don tells them no and said there's someone to watch his back, and it was the sure thing, John Shane. Match is on, and Papa Don picks up the victory, and after the match, General Romero takes his straps off, and Papa Don hit him with chops galore, and even John Shane gave Romero a purple nurple, or was it a double purple nurple, and at that point it was a main event time as we saw Stockade and Mouse take on JT Cason and Randy Summers with a title shot hanging in the balance for either JT or Randy. Eventually, Randy Summers pinned Mouse to win the match and get a title shot next month. After the match was over, Boo and Bab Sullivan and Devil Doll hit the ring, and JT had already been taken out with a DDT on the ramp. They're doing a number on Summer. Stockade's about to give Mouse a DDT. Bull James comes out, but then out comes King Mega and Apollyon, and they leave Mouse and Bull laying. At one point, Bull covering Mouse, and Stockade takes the microphone, tells Mouse, "You did this," and Stockade tells Randy Summers, "Next month you're going to get a title shot, but we're going to do it the violent way," and also declare that NYWC is the house of the Hounds of Hatred. Okay, it's time for our personal notes. Great seeing Greg and Sarah Gruber. Lane Rosario noticed me outside before I entered the building. Great seeing James McGrady. Who else did I... Great seeing Steve Ford, Shane. Damn, who else do I remember seeing in this crowd? Probably not too many other people. The crowd wasn't as big as Trust No One last month. Why are we always... Okay, NYWC, how come the microphones are always, like, not functioning correctly? It seems this happens nearly every show. I don't know if it's because too many people are getting too much microphone time or what the ordeal is, but I wish you could get some better microphones. Hotter Than... This show is now tied with Sideshow 2015, as both of these shows had 14 matches. And I think it's really a tight, really squeezing the juice out of the roster here. So many people. I mean, granted, Deonna Purrazzo was in 2 matches. And Sarah, we were making a joke about everybody yelling for food as the night went on, and people were yelling macaroni at TJ Marconi. People were chanting pickles for Sammy at Ryan Donovan, if that's the guy who lost, if I got the guy's name right, that lost to Talon. People were chanting, "Where's my bacon?" since Donovan claimed he was Canadian. Somebody yelling, "Where's my Whopper?" to King Mega. And at some point she was yelling, "Sarah, you were asking, where's your gyro?" And that was before we even saw Papa Don wrestle. And I'm the one that was asking for beer when JT Cason had come out for the main event. There was one memorable quote. I just got a text message. Jesse Vane, when during the tag match, when that sound effect that WWE used to play for the anonymous general manager was silly thing was going on. Now, Now NYWC returns with Till I Collapse on Saturday, September 17th. As already mentioned, Stockade defends the heavyweight championship against Randy Summers. I don't know who I'd like to see the tag champions go up against. I'd like to see maybe a 6-man tag pitting Absolute Alvin, Bishop, and Ultimo Maya against J-Red, GIT, and IRA. I'd like to see Oh, actually, here you are. Boo and Bam Sullivan defend the tag team titles against Rad Brad and C.J. Benson. Newly crowned Starlet champion Devil Doll hopefully will be in action. Don't know if she'll be defending her championship. Like to see, if it does happen next show, Elite Athlete Mike Orlando against Premier Athlete Anthony Nese 2. Not sure what else. I really can't figure out what else I want to see. Since this was a great show, and obviously things are escalating within the land of NYWC. Shane, I hope, being there were 14 matches on this show, I certainly hope NYWC doesn't become USA Pro Wrestling Light. I know you won't change the name. No way. But that's the feeling I kind of get since all these matches went on. But I'm sure your show's never gonna run as late as 12:31 a.m. That's for certain. Did go to the Twisted Shamrock after the show and didn't really stay too long. And when I went there, it reminded me why I hadn't gone in a while. I'd like to. I don't know if it would happen. It may happen again eventually. It's another way to squeeze people on the show. Maybe more six-way matches, or even a six-way championship. But then again, that's so PWS. If they still have a six-way championship, boy. But yeah, definitely a great show, guys and gals, and NYWC rules, the measuring stick of independent pro wrestling.